So he tried to get insurance from Bob before.
Yeah.
And he felt like, since he took his money, he'd recognize and probably call the police.
Right. And he told me he shot me like maybe 4 times.
There's a time to lie, and there's a time to freaking, you know what?
It ain't no time to lie doing this, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't lied to you, so it's not making sense, you know what I'm saying? Because you saying that my DNA was found in his pocket. Mm-hmm. There's no way in the world, because I've never even touched that man.
This is Paul White. For 3 years, he swore he barely knew the man he's accused of killing. His DNA said otherwise, and so did the friend in the next room. On June 8, 2007, police in St. Charles, Missouri, responded to a call at an insurance office. Inside, they found the body of 48-year-old Robert Eidman, an insurance agent, shot several times behind his own desk. The register had been emptied. There were no witnesses, no weapon, and no one who saw the shooter leave. Detectives pieced together a motive fast. The man who did this had a gambling problem. He'd blown through his money at the casino and needed cash. He knew the insurance office kept it on hand. So he walked in, took it, and because Eidman could recognize his face, he made sure the agent would never get the chance to name him. But with no weapon and no witnesses, the case went cold. For 3 years, there were no arrests and no suspects, until the crime lab tested a trace of DNA recovered from inside the victim's pocket. And it came back to a man named Paul White, a man who, 3 years earlier, had sat in that same office and bought a policy from the man he's now accused of killing. When detectives brought him in, White had one story, and he never moved off it. He barely knew Eidman. He only came in for insurance. He never touched him. He holds that line for 3 straight hours. But there was a second man detectives needed to talk to. The friend White woke up that night and made drive him. His name is Cleo, and Cleo told them everything. Watch White first. Then, watch the man who gave him up.
Do you have any idea why we're here? Okay. How long have you been locked up here?
Since May of 09.
May of 09? Is this the first DOC you've been this year, or did you go something like Farmington or the Wall or someplace and come here first?
I just came here in 09, but it's not the first DLC.
Right, so back in the day you were here, then you got paroled for a while, right? Okay. Before I can talk to you any further, you've been arrested before, since you're in custody, I have to read you your rights. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember your rights from last time you had them read to you?
Yeah.
Okay, it hasn't changed any. Today's the 27th, I believe. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, I'll explain everything to you. I'm not going to keep you in the dark on this.
Okay.
It is 9:25. All right. Before I ask any questions, you must understand your rights. You don't have to make a statement or answer questions. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Could you put your initials there, Paul, for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, anything you say can be used against you. I have to do it. Just
okay.
He'll go back and rat my boss out. Anything you say can be used against you in court of law. Can't read upside down anymore. If you have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice, if you have any question, have the lawyer put in any question. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot afford to hire one, a lawyer will be appointed for you before any question you so desire. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
If you decide to answer questions and make a statement now, you still have the right to stop answering questions or remain silent for any time. You understand that?
Yeah.
And then this is knowing and understanding what your rights are, you're willing to answer questions and or make a statement this time. It means I haven't threatened you, beat you, promised you your word or immunity.
All right. Sign here.
Yes, sir, please. And I'll sign as a witness. Thank you very much. Okay, and let me do a few more little housekeeping things too before I can do it. Well, actually, he'll write them down as I ask the question. I only have one piece of paper to look off of. You're Paul C. White?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paul, what's your DOC number? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Figures. No, I'm talking to him, not you.
What's your height and weight?
5'10", 200.
Okay. Is your head always shaved like that, or is it natural, or is it something you choose to do?
Something I choose to do.
What was your last address prior to coming to DOC? How long have you been divorced?
Since like April of this year.
Got any kids?
One.
Okay. Is that through your divorced wife, or is that through?
Not there.
Prior to coming to DOC, what was your last employer?
It was Continental Sprayers, St. Peter's.
Is that in Arrowhead Industrial?
Right next to Record and Benkiser.
Yeah, right there between 79 and,
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Continental sprayers?
Mm-hmm.
Are they the ones that make like Windex,
The
Lysol?
bottles and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Do you make the bottles or the chemicals that go
Just
inside?
the bottles.
Gotcha. How long you worked there?
About a year. Maybe, no, about maybe like 6 months.
Okay. Day shift, afternoons,
It
midnight?
was a 12-hour shift, 7 to 7 in the daytime.
So you worked 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
And they got a new box now because it's 2010. Heterosexual, gay, bi.
Straight.
Half-ass, dude. You know what? You know what? I haven't had anybody tell me one way or the other coming up the other way, but you know, you gotta figure. And religious preference?
Christian.
Christian. Okay. Alright. Let me show you a picture. Well, let's put it this way. Do you know, first, how long you lived in St. Charles?
Since like 06.
06? Okay. Where'd you live prior to 06?
In Florissant.
Florissant?
Yeah.
Because I looked at your driver's license, or an old driver's license, it was like green pasture, green meadow, something like that?
Just like Florissant.
Okay. And did you go, I'm not trying to keep bringing up your past, but you were a young man when you went to prison the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So your mom's house to prison, from prison to back to your mom's, or did you go from prison to St. Charles?
Went from prison back to my mom's house, and then like I caught a couple of violations, ended up going back. But this time when I got out, I got married and I moved out to St. Charles in 06.
And what was your wife's name?
Hmm?
Your wife's name at the time?
Sherry.
Sherry. And I'm assuming she took your last name.
Yeah.
So Sherry White. Okay. When you, first of all, do you know a guy named Robert Eidman?
Mm-mm.
Never heard of that guy?
Mm-mm.
I hate not being in my own office because everything's in disarray. Does this guy look familiar?
Mm-mm.
Never seen him before. I got another picture of him too. Same guy. Does he look any different?
Yeah,
I just want you to see the other person on the other side. Kind of familiar?
a little bit, like, a little bit.
Okay. You and your wife, when you lived in St. Charles, did you have a vehicle?
The Monte Carlo.
You had a Monte Carlo. What did your wife have?
Cheap, and then a Malibu.
Okay. She had a Malibu. Did you guys have insurance?
Yeah,
Okay. Who'd you have insurance through?
through a place up on First Capitol. I forgot the name of the place.
Was it American
It's right there,
Family?
like, I don't think it's American. It was like right there off the corner by the highway.
On On First Capitol by
Yeah,
the highway?
Yeah,
Okay. If I told you the name of the place, would it help?
probably.
Brooks Insurance?
Yeah, I think that was it, yeah.
Okay. Do you know anybody that has a silver or gray colored Ford Focus? No. Yeah, Ford Focus.
I don't know if I asked one.
All right. While you're out and about, last couple of years,
Yeah, my friend had one.
your friend?
Yeah.
Notice the detective isn't accusing him of anything yet. He's just collecting small, harmless facts. The insurance office, a friend's gray Ford Focus. Paul White answers freely because none of it feels dangerous. But every answer is a piece the detective will use to box him in later.
Who's your friend?
Clear mind.
Cleo? Is he a family member, or is he a friend, or is he?
He's like, he's a friend, but he's kind of like family from Sherry. Well, Sherry's stepsister. He has kids by her stepsister or something like that.
Wait a minute. Sherry's stepsister.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen Sherry's stepsister?
He has kids by her.
Okay, so he has kids. Cleo Hines has kids through Sherry's stepsister. Do you know what the stepsister's name is?
Mindy. I don't know her last name. Mindy. I don't remember her last name. Mindy.
Okay. What did you say?
Mindy.
Mindy?
Yeah.
Okay. But you don't know her last name. Where's she living at?
She was living with us, but then she, I don't know, I think in Illinois somewhere.
How good of friends are you and Cleo?
I mean, I just met him when I got out. We were kind of hanging out sometimes, because he would come over there, or he would be over there when Mindy was over there and stuff like that. We would hang out with just someone I met back then.
When's the last time you talked to Cleo?
Probably like 08.
And you met him in 06?
Yeah,
So you knew him about roughly a year or two?
yeah.
Okay. Now, I know back in the day, back in the day when you got arrested the first time for your DOC, I guess it wasn't your probably first arrest when you got arrested, that was for an armed robbery. Was that a kid thing? Was that a dope thing? What was that all about?
Just a dumb decision. As a kid, just I
'Cause
was
you were-
with
you were-
another
you-
guy, and we were basically just did some dumb stuff, and then like when we ended up getting caught, and we both went to court. He ended up getting 5 years probation, and I ended up getting 15 years because my mom couldn't afford a lawyer.
Is that what the difference was? He had an attorney and
Yeah.
you didn't? Did you have a public defender?
Yeah.
And now, at that time, did that kid stay in the car, or did he go in with you?
He went in with me.
He did go in with you? Okay. Do you have any idea why I'm here?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys had insurance through Brooks Insurance, do you remember how you guys would make payments to them?
Like a credit card.
You put on a credit card?
Yeah.
Now, would you go in and present the credit card to him?
I think he just did it like over the computer or something. I don't remember.
But would you be there while he did, or would you do it over, would you call him up and say,
I only went like one time, like when she first got insurance, and like we went in there, and it was, I think it was just when she first got her Malibu, or it might have been, I don't remember which car it was on, but we went in there one time, and it was like on the credit card, I'm sure, and that was that.
all right, so, just, I mean, you're throwing a lot at me right there. You went in there one time, when you first got it?
When we first went in there, like, we went in there when she needed insurance for a car or something, because she was getting it inspected, I want to say, or if it was a new car. I don't remember which car it was on, it's either the Jeep or the Malibu. But we went in there, and he gave her insurance on the car. And, like, that was the only only time we ever, I mean, she paid with a credit card, I want to say. And that was the only time we ever went in, unless, that's the only time I ever went in there with her. She might have went again or something, I don't know.
Okay, but you only went in there one time.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you remember how you got there?
we drove up there.
Right. Give me your in the Malibu that you just bought.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was on the Jeep or the Malibu. It was back in like, oh, 06 maybe, 07.
Okay. Okay. So that was my next question. You said when you first got the car, when you first got out of Department of Corrections, you probably got a car and needed insurance.
Yeah, when I first got my car, I never think in insurance on it.
So it's kind of hard to start over when you first get out.
Yeah, I never got insurance on my car.
Okay. So how long was it before you did get insurance?
On the what?
Well, let's put it this way. I mean, I could care less if you drive around without insurance.
Right.
So I could care less about that. I'm just trying to get a time frame of like when you think you were at the insurance office.
I would say between. I would say between November 06 and maybe March of 07 or something like that. I don't remember exactly
Right.
when she got the Malibu.
Okay. I mean, and that's good. I mean, you give me a time frame and you bracket it. I couldn't tell you 100% what I did November 06
Yeah, I
to
don't-
March 07. I mean, couldn't really do it. Unless I did the same thing. I'd have somebody ask me certain things. Was it like before Christmas, after Christmas? Was it around Valentine's Day? Was it warm outside? You know, you can't remember any of that. So when you went to the insurance company, it was you and your wife.
Mhm.
Okay, because I mean, that's kind of family business, that's the kind of thing you would do. Could have been any later than March of 06, March of 07?
I don't remember. Honestly, I mean, she could probably tell you better than me because I don't remember exactly when. If they got if she can like pull out the day our insurance started, then maybe she would know.
Okay. You guys on good terms? Yeah, I know you're divorced, I mean, it's kind of hard to
We
say.
talk every once in a while.
Okay. But I mean, if she see you walking down the street, she would chase after you with a cleaver?
Nah, nah.
Right. And she's not, you got little Paul White voodoo dolls in the house and sticking
I
full
don't
of
think
pins?
so. I hope not.
Okay. So when was the last time you talked to her?
Probably like a week and a half ago.
Okay. And I'm assuming you have to call her, because
Yeah.
you can't call in here. Does she write?
Nah, she used to, but not anymore.
Kind of moved on?
Mhm.
She do the papers because you get sent back here, or was that in the works before you even?
It was kind of in the works before I got back because we were on bad terms. Like, she knew I was kind of cheating on her a little bit, and it kind of.
Yeah, I kind of seen the police report in St. Charles where she's seeing your picture with Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that damn Facebook, man. So, who was the chick that was in that picture?
This girl named Ashley from St. Peter's or St. Charles, out there by the jungle or something.
You still talking to her?
Not for real.
For real. So, I mean, going from, going to DOC when you're a young kid, doing a robbery, getting out, and then you're back for forgeries, I mean, that's kind of a change of path. I mean, you're kind of a grown man now. What forgeries need money?
It was just something stupid, man. Like, this girl, she had some checks, and I went up to a couple of snooks and wrote a couple of checks for cash back, just stupid, and ended up getting some time for it.
Were you doing it just for the money, or did you have a drug problem, or what was
No,
it?
I've never been on drugs. It was just basically for the money, just something stupid.
Economy's rough. Gas is $3 a gallon some places, you know? That's what it is. Besides the gun in Florissant, are you a gun guy?
Not for real.
Well, not for real, and yes,
I
and no,
mean,
two
no,
different things.
no.
So, and I ain't trying to violate your parole because you're already here, okay? I mean, there's nothing I can do. What was the last gun you touched?
What was the last gun I touched? Probably like a 25. It's been a while though.
Glock 25 or 25 caliber?
Just a little 25.
Okay. We just shooting it, playing with it,
It
carrying
didn't even
it?
shoot. It was just someone that gave it to me, and I had it for maybe like a week, and then I got rid of it.
Now, why would you carry a gun that don't shoot?
Cause when I went to his house, like this guy I know, I went to his house, he gave it to me, and I was like, "What's wrong with it?" He was like, "Nothing. It shoots sometimes, and then it doesn't." You know what I'm saying? I've never shot it. So like when I showed Sherry at one time, and she was like, "Get rid of it, whatever." So I gave it to her brother, and he got rid of it somehow. I think he threw it over a bridge or something. I don't remember.
Okay. And Sherry knows being on parole, that's probably not a good thing for you to be doing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've all done stupid shit like that. My thing is, how good of a friend is this gonna give you a gun that sometimes shoots and sometimes don't shoot?
I think he gave it to me. He gave it to me to get rid of it because he was like, I went to his mom's house one time, and he was over there, and he was like, "Man, get rid of this for me." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" He's like, "I don't know." He said he had it in his garage for like a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Just get rid of it for me." So I'm like, "All right." So I took it. I had it for like a week, and then like getting rid of it.
Who was that friend?
A guy named Jerry. He lives out in Ferguson.
White guy or black guy?
Black guy.
So, I'll just make sure if I ever get a gun from a guy named Jerry living in Ferguson, that works first. One of the things that I'm investigating is a DNA case, okay?
The DNA.
A DNA case. You know, there's fingerprint cases and there's DNA cases.
Okay.
And you've told me you've been in Eidman's office before, okay? So, that being said, it'd be like walking in this office right here. You've been in here, your DNA should be in this office. You know, did you know the average American male loses 14 pubic hairs through his pants leg a day? Did you know that? Well, when they do that, if I'd come in here and vacuum up the floor and find a hair, well, and I send it to the lab for DNA, that DNA from that hair is going to come back to being Paul White's, because of the DNA that we've got from Department of Corrections would match up to it. Right? Makes sense? Now, if you had told me you'd never been in this office before, and I've got one of your pubic hairs that fell through your pants leg, well, then it'd be a little bit of a problem. Agree?
Okay.
Right? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Being an inmate here at Department of Corrections, they take your DNA when you get in here first,
Yeah,
right?
I took it a couple of years ago.
Okay. That being said, I'm gonna ask you for a copy of your DNA that I witnessed taking, like I do for everybody else that I've done in this case. You have every right to refuse it. I can't make you do it. But we both know that your DNA is in the system. So unless you know have some formula to plan on how to change it, you know.
Why would I change
mean,
my DNA?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, and I'm not going to twist your arm and make it. I am going to ask you for a sample of your DNA if that'd be all right with you. And you'll sit right there. You did it before. I'm sure you probably did the buccal swab method in your mouth, brush your gums, put it in a box, and there it is.
What was it for, though?
It's for an investigation in St. Charles, and it's a robbery. Okay. You have any problem with that? I mean, you're sitting there thinking.
No, never.
Right. Okay. Oh, I think I got the form up here.
When did the robbery happen?
In 07. You were out and about. I checked my times on that one. So you were out at the time. Today is the 27th still.
Who got robbed?
Robert Eidman, the guy that showed you that picture?
By the way, that clock doesn't work.
I noticed that.
Okay, we'll make sure you
I
don't
was
write
gonna
that
say,
down.
I'm not gonna write that again. It's ticking right away though. All right, Paul. Says I, Paul C. White.
The detective spends the next half hour on procedure, walking Paul White through the DNA consent, checking his phone records, running down the names he gives. Every alibi comes back empty. Then he sets it all aside and puts the one thing that matters back on the table.
Your DNA comes back in the back pocket of Robert Eidman. Your DNA. You're not, your dude, listen to me. Listen to me. I just showed you.
I understand that, but ain't nowhere in the world.
Why don't you think that?
It's because I never, you said that he got robbed. I never robbed the guy. I've been in there one time and to get insurance, so that's
Exactly.
ain't nowhere in the world.
You're telling me you've been in there one time,
Yeah.
and your DNA shows up in this guy's back pocket a month later?
That don't even make sense.
Exactly. With your story, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, Paul. I mean, it's one of these things that right now, when I show this to you, I show it to my boss, and I show it to the prosecutor, they're all on board on this, and they're saying, you know what, there's no way. I mean, you guys weren't romantically involved together, were you?
Come on, man.
I mean, exactly. I mean, my job is to prove people innocent, and my job is to prove people guilty. You told me in the beginning of this you're heterosexual.
Right.
Okay, I believe you're heterosexual. I don't think you've ever had a homosexual relationship with anybody. I mean, if you have, tell me now.
Nah.
Okay. All right. So, you know, there's several different ways for DNA to get passed. Okay. Or there's several different kinds of DNA, I should say. You know, there's sweat, there's skin cells, there's semen, there's saliva. You know, I told you as you're coming in here, you know, you got hairs falling through your pants leg. You know, every time you touch this chair, the arm rails with your bare skin, you're leaving, you know, droplets of microscopic sweat. Even though if you don't think you're sweating, you are. You know, you brush up against something, skin cells fall off on that chair. You know, it's the way we're composed. Now, if you can think of a reason that your DNA would be in his pocket other than the way I've got it in my mind, I'm willing to listen. Okay? I'm going to tell you this. You know, I read the word homicide to you. Okay? He was killed.
Oh, he was killed?
He was killed.
No.
No, and I'm telling you, he was killed. You read that word right along with me. I sat right next to you. And I read it word for word with you. And I told you, you know, robbery should also be on the back of that homicide word. You know? His wallet was taken. Or items were taken out of his back pocket. And I'm telling you too, these are real shitty when you print them out on my computer. They look really good when you look at them on the camera though. I got Cleo Hines' vehicle with Illinois plates, driving past it. Now, we all know Melinda used to live in Illinois. I also know that right after the homicide, 2 weeks, I think it was, maybe a little shorter, maybe a little bit longer, you were in that vehicle and you got stopped by St. Peter's and you were arrested, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. I'm sorry. I got you in the Ford Focus with Cleo. I've got your DNA in his back pocket. I've got Sherry's information on the desk prior to, and when we went in and we get the report of a subject hurt and we go in there, we take pictures of everything before we move anything. And then we take everything and we put it in a box. As I go through and I get your name, I go back and I start going through, I go, oh, here's a Sherry White. I start going through, your information's on there. Now, you guys didn't make a payment that day.
I thought she paid for my credit card that day.
Well, on that day, you thought she did?
Yeah. She had to. Because they don't give you insurance unless you pay for it.
Well, I agree. Did she do it over the phone?
I thought she paid it like right in, I'm sure she paid them on the credit card right then and there.
Right
Like,
there when you guys were in the office?
Yeah.
Did you take Cleo's vehicle up there that day?
We took our own car.
You're not listening to what I'm saying, Paul.
I'm listening to what
No,
you're saying.
You're listening. You need to listen a little deeper than.
Okay.
While we're here sitting, I had 2 other detectives going to Sherry.
Okay.
And I have 2 other detectives, actually 3 other detectives looking for Cleo.
Okay.
What do you think Cleo's going to say about this when he's shown the pictures of his vehicle and you can see 2, you can see 2 black individuals in the front seat of the car?
I have no idea.
Well, it's his car. I mean, and it's got the Illinois tags on it. What do you think he's going to say?
I have no idea.
Do you think he wants to get wrapped up in something like this? His criminal history isn't bad.
I have no idea.
And you can't give me any idea why your DNA is going to be in his back pocket?
It's impossible.
It's not.
It's impossible. It's no way in the world. It's impossible.
Paul, it's not impossible.
Okay.
Well, I'm telling you.
I know it's impossible. It's no way in the world.
Then how did it get there?
I don't even feel like it was there. It's impossible for it to be there.
It's there. That's not even something up to question. It's there. I mean, it's there. It's like saying there's air in this room. It's there.
And not only is it there, it's on the inside of the pocket.
It's not.
So that means that part of your body went into that pocket. There's no denying that.
Yeah, it's impossible. That's impossible.
It's not impossible. You want to read the form again?
I mean, I know what that says, but that's impossible.
How do you think it? Okay. I don't believe in coincidences.
Okay.
I mean, do you?
No.
Okay, I don't either. I'm a man of fact.
Okay.
I mean, I have to have somebody show me something for me to believe it, or have 3 people confirm it through other ways. I mean, I don't believe hearsay. I don't believe, what ifs. I mean, I guess I'm a man of science.
Okay.
If a piece of evidence is given to the lab and they do their scientific stuff, which I'm not even nearly qualified to tell you anything about, because I am qualified when they give me a police report and say, Detective Stepp, this is the individual whose DNA that we found.
Okay.
Now, if I was going to go to, let's take my jeans for example, jeans I wore this weekend. If I submit those to the lab, my DNA is going to be in there, right? Because they're my jeans. I mean, I stick my hand in my pocket to get my car keys out, to get my wallet out, get my can of dip, whatever. My hand goes in and out. It's brushing up. It's knocking skin cells off. They go to the lab. They find those things. They put them in the big computer. It spins around. And all of a sudden it goes, here's a match. And the match is your DOC number. This is getting to be more and more and more common as more and more people get DNA. It's like when fingerprints first started, they're going to have. That's the thing. You can wear gloves. You can wear a mask. You can wear a hoodie. It doesn't matter. What matters is what that piece of paper says, because that lab is accredited through the state and through the feds to do this kind of work. And they have to do all this testing. What do you think the odds of them picking your name out of all the millions of people
I don't know, but like I'm
Especially-
saying, there's no way possible my DNA could have.
Paul,
That's what
I'm just telling you this.
Okay.
Do you know a woman named Diane?
No.
You don't know a woman named Diane Iden?
No.
Did you ever work at St. John's Hospital?
No.
You never worked at St. John's in the cafeteria?
No.
You told your probation officer you worked at St. John's Hospital in the cafeteria?
No.
Yeah. I've got her notes from when you went to see her. You told her you got a job at St. John's? Yeah.
There's no way. Let me see the notes.
All right.
I want to see this. Y'all, oh my God.
I'm not making shit up, my man. Try to leave a message for band groups, canceled due to weather. Current employment, St. John's Mercy Hospital, New Balance and Olive. Contact, she doesn't have a contact number, or a contact person, but there's a contact number. Then up here it says, lost job at St. John's Hospital due to background check, may have job at Steak and Shake. She made those notes 2/27/07, 2/01/07. That's when she said you worked there. I think there was another one here too. I thought there was 3 entries. Could be wrong. Anyway, I showed it to you. I'm not lying.
never worked at St. John's Hospital.
Okay.
I mean,
But this is your PO writing this stuff down. These are her notes, or his notes, her notes, right? Her notes. You know, I mean, I've never, my 17 years, never met a PO that's going to lie about a person in her charge.
I'm trying to think. Why was she in the crowd? Worked at St. John's Hospital.
I mean, were they giving you crap about getting a job?
Why would she say that I worked at St. John's is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, because that's what it was reported to her,
That I worked at St. John's?
via you. I sat down and interviewed her about that. I talked to her, and she says that all the information she gets in there comes from the client.
Comes from me.
Yeah. Let's put it this way, every place that you went, and you had to fill out applications, did you tell them that you were an inmate? Or been convicted of a felony? All,
Yeah.
every place.
I'm sure, yeah. Except for human resources.
Human resources, who,
That was that's like the place I got the Continental sprayers. You have to go through human resources out Chunderman.
was that Kelly Services?
No,
Temp service?
it's a temp service. And then like they found out the guy at Continental wanted me to come on to the company. Then they found out that I had a record, but they see the thing was it's just have you been convicted of a crime in the last 5 or 7 years or whatever, and it had been
And the
longer
next,
than
and the
that.
next sentence was, or done time in the last
It wasn't the
7 years.
last, but I
Yeah.
But
You know,
okay,
yeah.
only thing that maybe the only reason that she might even had an inkling that I may have worked at St. John's was because this girl named Kathy that I used to date a long time ago, her mom was like a manager at the kitchen or something, and her mom when I was
What was her
dating
mom's
Kathy,
name?
I could I don't know, she's Vietnamese, I don't know what her I don't even know her full name, but Kathy Anderson.
Kathy Anderson.
Yeah.
And her mom is the manager of St. John's Cafeteria?
I want to say so. And her mom said a long time ago, like when I was dating Kathy, that she could give me a job up there, but I never.
How would your PO know that?
I might have mentioned it to her. Now that you say so, I might have mentioned, but I've never worked there. You know, I've never even filled out the application to go there. So that's why I was like, that don't even make sense. Unless I said, maybe like when she might have been like, are you working? I might have said something like, I'm trying to get a job at St. John's, but I never said anything like that I worked there or nothing like that. I never worked there.
Well, she made 2 or 3 separate
Yeah,
entries.
that don't.
So that doesn't make sense to me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You can look
I mean, don't places have employment histories and all that?
Oh, they do.
You can look all that up. I've never even
I know.
filled out an application there.
But what I'm saying is, why would her PO, because I did do that.
Okay.
I
Just so
did-
you
I
know,
did
I've never worked there.
I know that you haven't worked there as an employee of St. John's. Now, could you work there as a contractor?
I've
Like-
never, listen,
Listen to me, I'm just telling you. I mean,
Okay, listen to me.
I'm listening, I believe you. I
I've
believe,
never
Paul,
worked there.
I believe when you say that you
Okay.
worked there, you did, okay? I believe that, okay? But what I don't believe is how she could have different entries saying, Paul's saying he got a job there. And I'm paraphrasing, I'm not, Paul's saying he got a job there. Paul's saying, things aren't going good, he might lose his job because.
Okay, look.
The detective isn't really interested in where Paul White worked. He's testing him. Every time White denies something the records prove, a job, a date, a place, the detective learns exactly how easily this man lies, so that when the big denial comes, he already knows what it's worth.
There, I'll give you something else you can check into then.
Okay.
Won't you, human resources, and it's a place out in O'Fallon. I want to say, what's the name of that place? I want to say St. Louis. When you get off at Highway K, you might know. You get off at Highway K,
Okay.
and you know how you can go to the right, but as soon as you go to the right, you know how you come to that real quick stoplight?
Mhm.
You can make a left up on the outer road.
Mhm.
There's a little temp service called St. Louis something. It's like next to a
I know what you're talking about.
cigarette cash place or whatever.
Cigarettes for less?
Yeah, it's a temp service right there. I work for that temp service, and I work for Human Resources temp service. Where else have I worked since I got out? I worked for the McDonald's. I work for, it's another temp service I work for.
Kelly Services?
I never worked for Kelly Services. It's called,
I believe you did work at Kelly Services.
I worked at Kelly
They had a
Services.
jacket on you.
they did? When did I work at Kelly Services?
I don't have the dates in front of me, but I'm pretty sure you did.
Kelly?
You and Cleo together.
I've never worked for Kelly Services.
Okay.
Never.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I've never worked for Kelly Services. That place that I went, I'm trying to think of the name of that place. It's off of, it's in Westport. It's a temp service. I worked there for maybe 5 days. But they're the only 3 temp services that I worked for since I got out. So you could check all of them, and they'll never have me doing nothing at St. John's. I've never worked at St. John's a day in my life. Through anybody, I've never.
But you do know your girl from back in the day, mom, who's Vietnamese, was a manager there.
Yeah. And she mentioned,
When was the last time you seen her?
maybe like 06. It's been a while. And like, I don't, maybe like when I
You said
didn't,
06?
yeah, when I didn't have a job, PO sweat you about jobs, I might have mentioned, oh, well, I'm trying to get a job here or there, but I never actually said that I worked there. If I did say I worked there, I was just,
Well, and I've never been on parole and I never had a PO, but I understand pretty much how they work. If they're sweating you,
right,
and I understand how that works,
right.
They're gonna write down what you say. If you're trying to get a job, they're gonna write you're trying. Now, now I can't understand if I was in the other seat and I'm being sweated and I say, well, I got a job at St. John's to buy me some time until I get another job.
Right.
I understand how that works. They're not going to, say, Paul smiled at me and said he got a job at, Western Union, when in reality he said, man, I'm trying to get a job at St. John's. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're not
But
gonna.
you can, I mean, just honestly, you can sit in front of a PO and say, oh, I'm working at McDonald's. Which McDonald's you working at? I'm working at the one off Chandlerman.
Right.
And you could not be working there. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, well, what's the number? Before you go in,
Oh,
have the
I know.
number,
You know-
you give them the number,
Yeah,
and they'll be like,
absolutely.
okay, well, we want to see a paycheck stub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
you're
then
like,
the
all
next
right,
week
so
come
you
back.
got time
to get a paycheck stub, or you know what I'm saying, to find you a job to get a paycheck stub. Well, if any job that you have, you gotta show them paycheck stubs. So what was her name? Miss Diver was my PO. You can ask her if I ever showed her a paycheck stub from any St. John's, and she'll tell you no.
You're right, you never did.
So
I'm just saying what she's saying.
okay.
We kind of get a little off track there, and I still want to know why your DNA's in his back pocket.
It's no way in the world it can be.
You're saying there's no way in the world it can be.
Yeah, there's no way in the world it can be.
And I'm telling you that a lab has come back and said it is.
There's no way.
You know, and I can tell you that at that time, you were supposedly working for Continental Sprayers, according to them. Because I also subpoenaed the McDonald's, the one off Spencer, the one in Harvester, the one in Duchenne. I know.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I've been able to figure out which ones fired you, which ones were allowing you to work, you know, and that kind of stuff. So I know at the time where you were working at, and I also know that you weren't working at this time during this time frame.
That I didn't have a job.
That you weren't working at this particular time. Those hours that we were looking at, you weren't working, because I got all the time sheets. Dude, I put a lot of work into this. Okay, I didn't come into this blind.
Okay, so what are you getting at?
My getting at is this. I'm telling you right now that your DNA was found in a crime scene involving a man being shot. Okay.
My DNA was found in a crime scene, a man being shot. Man, ain't no way in the world.
I'm just telling you. Okay. Now, and this ain't no joke, man. I'm looking.
Right, because
I'm looking at you right behind you.
I know. I'm trying.
Okay, and I'm looking at you and telling you this. You know, one thing can be a coincidence, but I don't believe it in the first place. One thing could be a coincidence. Okay. But I've got the vehicle. I found that vehicle, even though it's been repossessed from Cleo and Melinda. And I got the police report with the Illinois tag on the back of it. I got the videotape of the damn thing driving around the business. And then I know what time the man died. And I know that only one person had been inside there before the police got in there, and that one person that got in there called the police. So it was what we call a virgin crime scene, and it hadn't been tampered with, it hadn't been fucked with.
Okay.
You know, it is what it is. It's not like, you know, somebody came and sprayed fairy dust all over him and allowed your DNA to be the one showing up. I got you tied to a vehicle that was seen driving around and your DNA in his back pocket. That doesn't look good. Would you agree with that? Paul?
I mean,
If it was the other way around. If you see my car driving around your house and my DNA being in your house, you'd come after me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right? I'm telling you, you know, also know, besides that, your wife's paperwork being on the front desk. Okay? That doesn't make sense either on his desk.
My wife's paperwork was on his front desk.
With your name in the file. Now, unfortunately, he can't tell us why it's there. I've got my theories why I think it's there, but I want to keep those to myself because that's just theory. Fact is what I'm here to talk about.
Okay.
Okay? Fact is the vehicle was seen driving around. Okay? All the video. I know the Illinois tag was on there. I know 2 people were in that car. At least 3. I'm sorry, at least 2. Could be somebody in the back, I can't tell. I don't know. I'll find out though. You know, and then I got your DNA there in the scene. And I know I'm trying to beat a dead horse here, but I'm trying to tell you, dude, this is not the time to be bullshitting around. I know, talking to his own family members, the victim's own family members, I know what his attitude's like. Okay, I know what would probably happen a little bit on this, but it's still just theory. I don't want to venture away from fact on the theory until we're concrete on this. Now, I guarantee you, we've sat across from each other maybe 45 minutes, an hour right now, and I know for a fact that if I would take these pants off and send them to a lab, Paul C. White's DNA is not going to be in my pocket. I know that. Okay. And we've sat knee to knee to each other. There's only one way for that to happen, and that's for somebody to reach in there. And I'm going to tell you, we searched that place from corner to corner, corner to corner, up and down, systematically. Probably one of the best crime scene units in St. Charles County was able to process this. They were the first ones ever. Every detective I've talked to in my homicide groups that I belong to, we talk to them, and I tell them how we got the DNA. They just think it's incredible that nobody ever thought about doing that before. And all of a sudden, you know what? Not only do we get a DNA, but a known DNA. That means we know who that DNA belongs to. And then when I tell them, you know what? That matches up to a car that was seen circling around. They didn't just drive once past the video, but drove twice. They're going, dude, you got it. This is it. You know? And I know from doing these, sometimes shit doesn't. We just worked one in July this year. Sometimes things happen that aren't meant to happen. People go into something with an intention of, you know what, this is what we're going to do. But sometimes the victims don't cooperate all the time, and they do stupid things. Sometimes they try to man up when they probably shouldn't, because anything that's taken can all be replaced. Sometimes it's on them. But it's my job to give answers to the family on this too. I'm just telling you, okay? There are different kinds of people in this world, and I'm sure you've ran across them. There's people that's just trying to, you know, get by and do the right thing, even though it ain't the right thing to do. They just try to get by. And then there's thugs, okay? And you know what a thug is? It's a person that goes out there, doesn't give a fuck who you are or what you're about. They're going to go out there and they don't give a fuck, you know? They're an animal. That's pretty much what they are. They're an animal. There's probably a few animals around here, aren't there? Yeah, a few. They don't give a fuck about nobody else but their own self. And there's other people, you know what? They might be taking a little bit of here and a little bit there, just trying to make their life a little bit easier. They don't do it the fucking animal way.
Right.
Okay? Sometimes an animal makes them do something that they normally wouldn't do under normal circumstances. And that can be explained. And there's a difference. You know, you got a kid. How old's your kid?
6.
Kid's 6 years old. Now, before you came here, I'm sure you watched that kid. You know, kid be walking around the house. Let's say your mom, because I usually use moms because moms are the best at this. Moms make cookies, right? I know my mom used to, or she make a pie or something. But cookies work best for the story. She makes a bunch of fresh cookies out of the oven. Whole house smelling like chocolate chip or cinnamon or whatever the hell cookie she made. And that little kid's sitting there, and you know what? You'd say, Junior, don't you be eating no cookies. You know? All right, Dad, I ain't gonna eat no cookies. And you know there's 12 of them sitting on that plate. You come back 15 minutes later, there are 10 of them on that plate now. And Junior's got shit all over his face.
Right.
And you know what? You say, Junior, what happened to those cookies? And Junior says, I don't know, Dad. Now you're pissed. Okay? Not so much that the kid ate the cookies, because that's what kids do.
Just because he lied.
Because he lied.
Okay.
Okay? I'm a dad too. I lied to my dad. I lied to my mom. I got in trouble for it. Now that I'm a parent, my kids lie to me, I realize they weren't whooping my ass because I ate the cookie. It's because I lied to them.
Right.
Okay? Same thing with the kid and the cookie. There's a certain time when you get caught with cookie crumbs on your face that, you know what? It's like when you get pulled over by the cops. Maybe that's the time to lie to the police because you ain't in cuffs yet.
Right.
And you still have a chance. But once they put you in the cuffs and put you in the car and they take you, pretty much at that point the gig's up most of the time.
Right.
And the only thing you do by lying at that point is making it worse
Right.
and worse and worse. Just like the kid with the cookies on his face. It's making it worse.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm telling you, I know that this guy might not have been 100% an angel. I know, it's just like, I'll tell you what, I'm a cop, I've been a cop for 17 years, I carry a gun. If somebody came up to me and my wife as I'm walking down the alley, and they said, give me your wallet, motherfucker, you can have my wallet, because you know what, there ain't a damn thing in that wallet that can't be replaced.
Right.
And you know what, I know that guy, 99% of the time, is not gonna hurt me or my wife. They want that to get milk for their baby, heroin in their arm, make a car payment, I don't know, whatever their issue is, I know they're gonna take it and run. You know, I can replace that, I can call my bank, I can call my insurance company. My wife ain't hurt, I'm not hurt, he's gone, I'm done. And I'll probably never see that guy again. But if I was to man up and be strapped or be a big motherfucker and I tried to use a little bit of force on the guy, you know what? Sometimes that's a defense, you know? Didn't want to go in there and hurt somebody. I wanted to go in there and get some cash. Or I wanted to go in there to get whatever, you know? He pushed it. If he'd have just shut up and did what I told him, then I would be in this situation. I know you probably heard that story 100 times. I've heard that story 100 times. It's the way it is. Sometimes people are dumb. We had a guy, drug deal gone bad, get shot for it. Bullet hit the wrong spot, killed him. You know what? Those guys didn't intend to go kill him.
Didn't that happen on Cave Springs at that rest community parking lot?
You are correct.
I heard about that.
Do you think those guys intended to kill him?
I don't even know the story. I just heard that they found the body in the car or whatever or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. They didn't intend to kill him. They didn't intend to rob him. He manned up. You know? Now instead of not having a little bit of cash in his pocket, his mom had to go out and buy a black dress. His mom shouldn't have had to go out and buy a black dress. Just like this guy. You know? This guy's family didn't need to go put a tie on June Day. They didn't need to go buy black dresses. You know, he didn't have any kids, but he had a nephew. Nephew really misses his uncle. Misses him a whole lot. And it kind of worked out good since his dad was gone a lot. Uncle kind of filled in for him. Filled in for him a lot. And he misses his Uncle Bob. And now he sends the Christmas cards that he would have sent to his uncle to the police department. Because he needed to send him somewhere. He kind of feels like this is what he can do. And he also takes him to the cemetery and puts him on his headstone. That's what he does. He's a little kid. He doesn't understand how the world works. What do you think should happen to somebody that, you know, let's put this one, scratch what I just said there. There's two different kinds, like I said, there's animals, and there's animals/thugs, and there's people just trying to get by. Is there a difference? There's some people that, man, they're just freaking wired to be mean.
I mean, I guess the intent could be different, but
You know what? That's a good word you used.
You know what I mean?
You don't see a difference?
I mean, let's say the intent can be different, but I mean, it's like, what's the?
Do you like football?
What's the difference if you rob a store for money to try to put food on the table, or then if you turn around and rob a store just because you want to do it just to show you can rob a store, you know what I mean? The crime is still the same. You know what I mean? It might have been for different reasons, like the intent might have been different, but it doesn't make it no less in my eyes.
When I was a baby policeman, and I wore a uniform and my face was all clean and my hair was short, and they'd send me to Dearborn for a shoplifter in custody, okay? If I went into Dearborg's and the security guy had the purse in the back, and it was a guy who stole a loaf of bread, some Spam, some peanut butter, some diapers, walked out without paying. No, his intent was stealing. Did he steal filet mignon? Did he steal Jack Daniels? He stole because the baby needed to eat. Same day, that guy I'd give a summons. You know what, you did wrong, yeah, you have to go to court. Here's your summons, show up on the court date. Okay? Now, if they sent me to Target, and I'd go in the back with security, and they've got a 35-year-old housewife whose husband is a Boeing executive, and she's got $500 worth of cash in her pocket, credit cards and a checkbook, and she steals an $80 bottle of perfume. She doesn't need the $80 bottle of perfume. She's got plenty of money to pay for it. She walks out to steal it. That was her intent to steal it, but she did it more for the thrill, as opposed to, now, you see what I'm saying? You still got two stores, property, both being what it is, but one guy did it because his baby is crying. Babies get an empty stomach, they cry. They don't care if you're trying to get a job, got a job, what your problem is. They just know their belly hurts. Housewife, on the other hand, just want to see if she can get away with it.
This whole story about a stolen loaf of bread and a bottle of perfume has one purpose: intent. The detective is quietly offering Paul White a softer version of himself. Maybe he panicked. Maybe he didn't mean to. It's an invitation to confess to the lesser story. White doesn't take it. But the offer tells you exactly where the detective is steering him.
Both had the same intent, right?
Right.
Did I clarify that a little bit? You know, some people are just wired differently. You know, some people, like I said, some people are just animals. You know, some aren't. Some of them aren't. Some people, you know what? They're trying, and they have the intent to do one thing, and they're forced. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Do you like getting your ass beat?
Nah,
I don't like getting my ass beat. Nobody likes getting their ass beat. Nobody feels like they're like being threatened. You know? My dad used to tell me growing up, a deer's a beautiful animal, right? Little white-tailed deer, Bambi, beautiful animal. Doesn't look like it'd harm a fly. But if you cornered that deer in this room, that deer's gonna kick you and bite you and jump all over you and fight for survival. I mean, everything that has breath and has life doesn't want to get hurt. You know, it's a survival instinct. Fight or flight. If you can't run, you gotta fight. I kind of think that's what this incident was, Paul. I don't think that the people that went in there and hurt him, I don't think their intention was to go in there and execute him. I don't think that whatsoever. And the reason I say that is because of the investigation we've done into him as well. You know? We know what he thought about people. We know, you know, first of all, you've seen the pictures of him. Was he a little puny guy? No. He wasn't a puny guy. Bigger than me. You know? I'm a couple inches taller than you. He was a couple inches taller than me. You know? Pretty good sized dude. He's one of those dudes that you could probably outrun real easy, but man, if he grabbed you, it'd be like one of those professional wrestlers getting you in a death grip. I don't want to be put into a death grip. I don't think you want to get put in a death grip. And I think that's the way this went. I don't think this was a mean-ass violent takedown. But my job is to get the truth of this. And I can get, you know, what I'm going to do is, this is going to go to the prosecutor's office. They already, I'm just before you nod your head saying, you know, I don't care, or I don't know, or I don't what, I'm going to tell you what, they've been with me on this every step of the way for the last year and a half. They've read every report I've written, they've read everything the major case has written on it. They've seen every piece of evidence, especially the last couple of months. I've already got a prosecutor assigned to it. They know what I'm doing today. They know that Cleo's going to get spoke with today. They know your wife's getting spoke with, and several other people that might be related, might not. I don't know. But I do know this. Out of all these people, you're the only one who has DNA in the back pocket. you're the only one that everybody's pointing a finger at right now. And, you know, at this stage of the game, we got the middle of the book and the beginning of the book. I'm just working on the end of it now. And, you know, I'm gonna present it the way you want it to be presented.
It ain't nothing to present. I haven't, it don't even make sense, because there's no way my DNA can be in there. And, you know what I'm saying, I've been in there one time, that was to get insurance, you know what I mean? So, other than that,
So
this
what-
is just,
so
this
listen to
is
this.
all new to me. I have no idea.
Oh,
I mean,
let's
you
put it
say
this way.
okay.
The last day that you were in his office is the day that Sherry's credit card was run. Is that what you're gonna tell me?
I'm sure she paid for insurance with a credit card.
Okay, and you were with her.
Yeah, I was with her when she got insurance.
So that day is the last and first time you were ever in there.
Yeah.
You know what? Every time someone goes to, well, let's put it this way. How many other people do you think paid with a credit card that day?
I have no idea.
Nobody else's DNA is in his back pocket. I'm just telling you, Paul. And the reason this is my assumption, the reason that someone else's other than the victim's DNA is in his back pocket is because they reached for something. That's what makes it a robbery. They took something by force. That's what makes it a robbery. You know, it's not. It might not be your average textbook. This is what we consider a robbery. You know, somebody doing this, put your hands up, give me your wallet, and run. It's still a robbery. Still a guy laying on the floor when the police show up. And it is what it is. And you know what? I mean, it's either somebody's going to look at you and think, you know what, this guy is not remorseful, he doesn't care.
Remorseful for what? It's you saying like I'm not remorseful. It's nothing to be remorseful for. It doesn't even. Why would I be remorseful for anything? You saying that he's dead? You know what I'm saying?
He's
Okay,
dead.
I'm.
I can prove that too.
All right, you saying that he's dead? I'm sorry to hear that he's dead, but I've have nothing to do with him being dead. And you saying like I'm showing that I'm not remorseful? That don't make sense. If you found out that tomorrow that I died in here, would you feel remorse for me?
Yeah, I would feel sorry.
I mean, okay, yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna. If I came to you and was like,
because you know what, Paul, the difference is, I'm not going to be the one that broke in here to steal anything from you.
okay, and I didn't break in there to steal anything, so this
okay.
is.
But my DNA also wouldn't be on your body.
And I'm 100% sure mine's not on his.
But I'm telling you, it is.
There's no
Paul,
way.
I'm not lying to you.
I wasn't there, so there's no way that it could be there.
You watch CSI?
Yeah, I watched all them shows. So.
Okay. Do you think everybody, and this is just an opinion, do you think the people that go to court watch CSI too?
Probably.
Okay. What do you think if you watch CSI, you're sitting up there in the jury box, and if I get up there and say, St. Charles County Lab, which is accredited, and this is the scientist who's about ready to testify, is going to say that, you know what, this is his DNA. I'm just asking you.
A person can get up there, okay, yeah. A police officer can get up there and say that this person.
It's a scientist.
A scientist can get up there and say this person's DNA was found on such and such, such and such. But that don't necessarily mean that that person's DNA was really found there. You know what I mean? A person can, people can lie, but I mean, I'm not saying that y'all have a reason to lie, and I'm not saying that the scientists will have a reason to lie, but I'm saying that there's no way in the world that my DNA was found there, because I wasn't there. I've been in that office one time, and that was to get insurance. You know what I mean? And I mean, basically, it's like, first you tell me this guy got robbed, now it's a homicide.
It's a robbery homicide. It's a robbery homicide. Paul, I told you once, I don't lie. When I come in here, I ain't told you one fabrication of the story. I haven't stretched the truth. I haven't made up anything. I'm telling you point blank. Point blank. You know, I'm just telling you. And what I was trying to say.
I mean, okay, when I was 17, yeah, I committed a robbery. You know what I mean? I was with a guy, and we robbed the cleaners, and we left. A couple of days later, we ended up getting locked up. I told the detectives what happened before he did. You know, he denied everything. I told them what happened. You know what I mean?
That for some police.
And we both got locked up. He ended up getting probation. I got 15 years. So I went to prison. I came out. I committed a forgery, one. Wrote some checks, you know what I mean? I went back to prison and ended up completing that sentence. But then I called it forgery again in 08, you know what I mean? But I've never robbed anybody else, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I've never stolen anything, because I have, you know what I mean? But as far as robbing somebody and killing somebody, I've never done nothing like that, you know what I mean? When we robbed the cleaners, there wasn't even any bullets in the gun. We had a gun, but there wasn't even any bullets in the gun. I wouldn't have, man, that's no way in the
That
world.
clerk, did she show up in court?
Yeah, she came to court.
Did she ID you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If this guy...
But even before all that, I admitted to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she wouldn't have even had to come to court.
Well, you could always recant your statement.
I mean...
You could always recant your statement.
Yeah, but it was no point to.
But I'm just saying you could.
Yeah.
You know? And then you have the eyeball witness that say, this is the person. Maybe that's the same situation on us. Maybe, you already did 15 years. Maybe you don't want to go back to prison.
I'm in prison.
You weren't in prison then. You weren't in prison then. You were on parole for robbery then.
I'm parole for a robbery when what?
Well, I think you were on parole at the time. You're underneath the supervision of probation parole.
When this robbery happened?
Yeah. But what I was trying to say before, you being an individual who watches CSI, and I know you say that somebody could lie, but for somebody to lie, they'd have to have a motive for them to lie. People just don't wake up in the morning and say, today I'm going to tell the truth, or wake up and say, today I'm going to tell a lie.
Okay, so you saying that the only reason you in here seeing me is because my DNA was found in his back pocket?
If I was going to come in here just because your DNA was in the back pocket, I got this information March 3rd of this year. I would have been here March 4th.
Okay.
So what I did instead is I did my homework, and I started thinking, you know what? I got this piece of evidence, I got this piece of evidence. How does it match up with what I already know?
Okay.
Okay? It's not a, man, I need to really find out if he did it. Paul, I'm going to tell you what. I'm pretty darn convinced that you had something to do with this. And the reason I do this is because of the last couple of months of all the work we've done on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Let's say there'd been a black Ford pickup truck that drove around twice that we had on video instead of what we got. Well, you know what? That wouldn't fit up. But you know what? I get an 07 Ford Focus that was purchased 6 weeks prior by Cleo, okay, and Melinda. I said, okay. But you know what? This is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to find out. Maybe I'm going to be acting as your attorney. I'm going to say, what is the attorney going to ask me? Well, he was at work. Every place that I've subpoenaed and got your work schedule and your payroll stubs, you weren't working at this time. Now, I go, maybe Cleo was working. Cleo wasn't working either. You know what? So, So then I go back and I go, let's look at all the stuff. Maybe Paul went in there to make a payment. All right? Well, I go and there's her stuff on the desk. The wife's stuff on the desk. So, but there weren't receipts. There wasn't anything in the computer, Visa or MasterCard, whoever it was, didn't ring anything up for the insurance that day. So that's kind of odd. And there's some other stuff that I'm not going to get into because I mean it's irrelevant. I mean I've put a lot out there on the table. I probably told you more than most cops would tell you while you're sitting in this room. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not bullshitting you, my man. I'm not. There ain't, there's times to lie, and there's times, you just need to come to Jesus. And this is one of them. I mean, if I was making shit up, I would have no problem you crossing your arms, laughing at me, and saying, you know what, you're wrong. But you know what, Paul? You can say all you want. I don't believe my DNA's there. I'm telling you. Him as my witness. You holding a piece of paper. It's there. It's not me asking you, if I check the scene, is your DNA going to be there? Paul, I'm telling you, it's there. That's like saying, if you had sex with some woman, is it my kid? I'm telling you, the DNA is saying it's your kid. 99.99999%. You. The only reason it's not anymore is because they'll never, ever be able to get that mathematical 1.1 million.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but
they can't do that.
I'm telling you that it's no way possible my DNA could be there, because I had nothing to do with this. Nothing.
And I told you at the beginning of this conversation that I don't believe in coincidence. And you said it yourself, you don't either. So I am forced to believe fact. I am forced to put down with people. I always give this option to everybody. Tell me how I prove you innocent.
How do you prove me innocent?
How do I prove you innocent? How do I prove Paul White didn't have anything to do with this?
I don't know, that's not your job to do.
Oh, yes, it is my job. My job's not to lock up an innocent man, is it? If I lock up an innocent man, that means the guilty guy's still running around.
Yeah.
Okay? Then I ain't doing my job.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, y'all in here wasting y'all time, because I'm not the guy that did that.
Well, according to what that says, you are.
Okay.
According to what the videotape says with the vehicle circling around, it belongs to Cleo. Can you give me one excuse why Cleo's car be driving around there?
I have no idea.
Okay? And you know what? The real I mean, it's got a brand new car. Okay? I understand times are tough, you know, not being able to freaking afford insurance and property tax and inspections and all that stuff you need to get a car registered. Excuse me. So, Melinda, who used to live in Illinois, takes her old plates and puts on there. I understand that. And they're on there even after the fact when St. Peter's gets you. So, I mean, I can put you in that car. You know?
Man, hey. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm listening to you. How do I
What
prove
possible explanation can you provide that why your DNA is in the interior of this man's
There's
back
no
pocket?
way in the world my DNA could be.
I mean, it's there, brother. There's nothing that we can't tell you anything more. That's a fact. It's a scientific fact.
There's no way in the world that my DNA could
But
be
it
there.
is.
It don't make sense.
Well, whether it makes sense to you or not.
That's like
it
you
is
saying
there.
right now my DNA in your pocket.
No.
I haven't
You know what?
touched you
Good.
at all.
Exactly. You haven't.
So that
It's
don't-
not going to
that-
be there. My DNA is not going to be in your pocket either.
We haven't touched each other, so there's no way in the world, because the only time that I was in that office was when we bought insurance. So other than that, there's no way in the world.
Did you stick your hand in his back pocket?
Why would I stick my hand in his back pocket?
I'm trying to get answers for that.
I've never stuck my hand in his back pocket. That don't even make sense.
For the next half hour, the detective checks every alibi Paul White offers, every name, every place he claims he was. One by one, they fall apart. And when there's nothing left to check, he comes back to the one fact Paul White still can't explain.
To verify that the same sample that we take from you matches the DOC sample and the sample that matches from the interior of his pants pocket.
Okay, now
That's the confirm.
who can I get to make sure that that's all y'all doing with the DNA though?
That's all.
What else can we do with it?
Man,
Crime scene's gone, dude.
That's already been analyzed. It's not like we can go wipe it on something. I mean, I understand your suspicions, okay?
because it don't make, because there's
Because
no way
TV
that my
does it
DNA
wrong.
can be there.
And-
You know what I mean?
and
That's
we-
why it doesn't
listen
make
to me,
sense to
It
me.
is there. According to them, right now, it is there. And it's not like on CSI where we can take your DNA or we can pull a hair out from you open my trunk to my car, put it on some frickin' machine, and 30 seconds later I have an answer. That, you know, that's total bull. It doesn't happen. It takes a minimum of 6 months to get DNA back.
Unless we ask them to put a rush on it,
Exactly.
they would do that. We could probably get it back maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
On a standard case in St. Louis County or the Missouri lab,
Missouri State,
dude,
forget
it's,
it.
the Highway Patrol, it's a year.
Well, look, I don't mind you taking my DNA, but I just want to know that it's the right thing to do before I do it. You know what I mean?
And it's like, Paul, I don't want you to think I'm threatening you by any means, but I'm gonna tell you what I could do, and it would probably end up eventually happening anyway if you said no. I could obtain a search warrant, I could have a judge sign it, and I mean, like we talked earlier about, your DNA is not gonna change, is it?
No.
Okay? It's not. If your DNA is what it is. That's why I'm not sweating in the beginning part when you say no. That is your right to say no. I'm not gonna jump up and down and holler and scream and call you names and all that. That ain't my speed. I don't do that. You know, I'm never gonna take a step off the other side of the straight and narrow, all right? I do my job the way I'm supposed to do it. If you tell me no, no. I go and, you know what, if I have enough probable cause, if a prosecutor believes me, if a judge believes me, if they want to give me a search warrant, that's what I'll do, and I'll track on back down here and, you know, say, Paul, we have to tie you down and stick a buccal swab in your mouth, and that's what we're gonna have to do. You know, I'll get 10 midgets to, you know, jump up and down on you.
Right.
Okay? But I mean, that's the thing, it's not like I'm asking for head hair, and you shave your head, you know? That ain't what's happening, man. And you know what, I told you, I'm here to prove you innocent if you did. Let's say the guy behind, let's say the minimum wage guy that works for Department of Corrections right before you had a bad day and he mixed up the samples, okay? Do you think that's possible? Could that happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know what they do.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we don't even know how they do it.
I've
Take
never
a
seen-
swab and swab your mouth and put it in the cup and put your
Okay.
sticker on it with your name on it.
Okay. And I don't know what they use for a chain of command on that. Chain of custody. Chain of command, chain of custody for that. You know? But I can tell you this, what happens from here, I'd have you sign the form that I just signed refused on the other one, I'll fill out another one. I reach in my bag, I got a brand new buccal swab, never touched by human hands. You brush your top, you brush your bottom, brush the top, brush the bottom, you put it in a box, I put it in an evidence envelope. I take it from here, straight to the St. Charles County lab. I hand deliver to them. There's no chance of me getting the guy before you, the guy after you. I have no other buccal swabs with me. And I'm sure not gonna put my buccal swab in there. He ain't gonna put his. It's going straight from here to the lab.
I'm gonna ask my parents first and see what they say. That's
We'll
what
do that.
because it's just kind of, just don't make sense to me right now.
Okay. And I understand that. But you know, in the meantime, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do too. You know,
Okay,
I understand
that's
that,
fine.
right? Okay. So,
You got like a card or something? Where I can-
I might have it with me. No, because I left my wallet in the locker. They wouldn't let me bring it in.
I've got one, but we need to check with them before we give one to you.
For real.
I mean, that's, so we couldn't even come anywhere with that.
My name's real easy.
I'll write it on the back of mine.
You work at the one on Zumbo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
St. Charles PD.
Mhm.
My name's
We'll
real.
write that down. I mean, as long as
Let's
it's.
just wait till he comes back and give you a card. We can give you a card. My name's Step, Detective Step, just like you walk.
On the
Take a
step.
step.
Okay.
And my phone number's even easier. You know, 949 is the St. Charles number,
Yeah, I know the
right?
number. Is it like
3330.
3330? Okay, 3330.
Yep, that's it. It's easy. Take a step, 3330. is what it is, Paul.
Yeah, it's just not, it just don't make any sense to me. Cause I mean, that'll be like me getting robbed and then somebody come to tell you that your DNA was in my pocket. And you'll be like, the only time I ever seen Paul was when I interviewed him. So you just really, that's like what I'm saying, the only time I ever even been around him was when we bought insurance, so it don't make sense to me.
Well, and I would agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. Somebody's not telling the truth, okay? Somebody's not being honest. DNA just doesn't fly.
Right, that's right.
You know? And it's one of those things, I mean, I'd rather have DNA than a fingerprint any day. Any day of the week. Never lost a DNA case. I mean, I've had people lie about a DNA case and weren't honest to themselves or me or their families or whoever, and you know, you show it to them, and everybody watches CSI. Matter of fact, everybody expects there to be DNA in a case nowadays.
Right.
They all expect it. If you ain't got my DNA, you ain't got me. Well, kind of works the other way too. If we got your DNA, we got you. You know, if it's your DNA. Which, you know what? Sometimes you get DNA, it's like 1 in 832 people. Well, that's nothing. You know, you want 1 in a trillion. And if it's 1 in a trillion, dude, it's you.
Right.
Okay. So I mean, I could what if all day. It's like I told you before. I got my theories, but oh. Like I said, I got my theories.
No.
No, he said, yeah. I just had a piss, man. Sorry. Couldn't hold any longer.
You know, I got my theories, but theories are like, you know, anything else. I mean, they're a theory, they're not a fact.
Alright. You write step on there, 949-333. Oh.
What's the last four?
3330.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Can we grab him or?
why don't we talk to him real quick. Paul, do you got any questions for us?
No, not really. Call home.
Well, just hold on a sec. We're gonna ask you to sit here a minute. Let's play devil's advocate here. Okay? All right? You're saying that the only time you've ever been there was that one time.
Right.
Okay? And that your DNA shouldn't be there because you never had nothing to do with this. Okay? And I tell you, this is one of those kind of things that you kind of brushed over and you didn't really attack too much on, was I told you Cleo's vehicle was there.
Okay.
And I mean, and I'm telling you, I mean, I'm not lying. I mean, you know as well as I do when I'm saying it. I'm being honest that, you know, Cleo was using the Illinois tags on the back, and those tags came back to Melinda. You know that because he was living there with you at the time. Right or wrong?
Yeah, he was living with us.
Okay, and he had the car, and he had the Illinois tags on the back of it.
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see him with a gun?
No.
Would it surprise you if I said he had a gun?
Yeah, because he wasn't really that type.
Okay. What do you mean he wasn't that type?
I mean, you know, like the thug type, as you say, or just...
Well, you're not a thug type either, but you had a gun too.
Yeah, but I mean, just being around him, he never... he's not even fighting type, so I wouldn't.
Now, he's gonna be talked to,
Okay.
okay? And if he isn't already in custody, because he's got warrants out for him, you know. Plus I put him in the computers being warranted, so he's gonna go to my holdover, and he's gonna wait till we get there to talk to him. That being said, that being said, is he gonna say he ever drove you up there? Sure about that?
I'm positive. Only time I ever been up there was when me and my wife got that insurance.
Okay, well, I know that's what you're saying. I'm just saying, asking you
Yeah,
what
he's
somebody else is gonna say.
He would never. Why would he even say that?
Oh, I don't know. Why would your DNA be in his back pocket? I mean, that's the kind of world I'm living in right now, Paul. You know? I mean, I'm trying to look at things. I'm trying to, you know, I try to look at the good in people and try to believe them until I have something otherwise.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, you know, and I've seen that.
I mean, it's not. I mean, okay. So you don't believe me, but
I really
you not believing me doesn't.
It ain't me that you have to convince.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm saying you not believing me. I'm not really even worried about convincing anybody because I know I didn't do it. But you not believing me doesn't. I mean, okay, you don't believe me. You know what I mean? People.
I didn't believe the Rams would win yesterday either.
Fuck, I didn't either.
Okay, look what happened.
Right.
Okay? I'm convinced now.
Yeah.
I seen the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the way it works, man. I mean, hell, maybe next week, maybe they'll win again. I don't know who they're playing, but you know what? It's the kind of guy I am. You know? I mean, everything's just pointing that way. You can't, and I mean, I'm not hiding nothing from you. There's a few things I can tell you that I don't want you to know.
You don't want me to know.
Because if you would tell me, I mean, I want you to tell me. You know, I mean, there's certain things that, you know, it is what it is. Okay? Yep. Was I mean to you?
No, you wasn't mean to none of that. You was just telling me.
I mean, I was talking to you. Let's have a conversation. I mean, it's probably not a conversation you wanted to have today.
It's just surprising. It just came out of nowhere. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Well, that's your reason why, I guess. But
I
that's
told you
just
why.
something. I can't. I would bet whatever on. You know what I mean? It just.
Well, you already bet you're out there. We lost that. You're out there. You're gone.
Wow.
You know. Would it surprise you if I got a murder warrant for you this week?
Would it surprise me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why? It don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. Was that what you finna do?
Might. I don't know
Okay,
yet.
well, I mean,
I don't know yet, Paul.
it don't make sense to me. At all.
I mean, do I want to get it right now? I mean, you're not going anywhere for a while, right?
I'm not going nowhere till the end of next year. So you got, I mean, do what you feel like you need to do.
That's the thing. It ain't. I'm not trying to punish you or threaten you or none of that stuff. I mean, you know what? I think that if I was in your position, I'd want to know what's happening to me. I'd like to know my fate. I'd like to know what I'm looking at. You know.
I understand that, but I mean, I haven't done
anything.
anything, so it's like I'm not even remotely really worried about it. I haven't done anything, so it's like if I was sitting, if I'd done something, if I'd done whatever you're talking about, and I was sitting here, I would be like, so what would happen if I'm not worried about it because I didn't do it, so it doesn't. I mean,
you know what? If roles reversed and I told you that little Mary down the street told me you did it,
okay,
that's a whole lot different than having a scientific report with your DNA in it, right? Which one do you think's stronger?
I guess the DNA would be stronger.
Right. And it's not that DNA's on a cup in the office, because you know what, a lot of businessmen will offer somebody a drink, a cup of coffee, you want a cigarette? They'll do that. It's a business environment. But I'm gonna tell you what, I've never stuck my hand in somebody's back pocket on a business endeavor. Ever. And I don't think, I won't say 100%, but 90% of the people in the courtroom have either done it either.
So, I mean, basically what you're saying right now is that if you wanted to push that issue, you know what I'm saying, and you tell everybody in the court that my DNA was found in this back pocket, you could basically just 90% of the time get me found guilty on something I didn't do.
No, I said 90% of the people would say they've never stuck their hand in somebody's pocket. I didn't say anything about 90% would find guilty.
No, but I mean, you just said 90. I mean, you just sat here and said I've never lost a DNA case.
I've never lost DNA.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So,
Paul,
some straight
That's some reasonable
bullshit.
explanation.
Wow, that's crazy.
Paul, have you ever heard of a DNA case being lost?
Nah, I mean,
Okay, and I mean, I told you when I come here, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna blow steam up your rear end, I'm not gonna make up stuff. You know what? Somebody told me not too long ago that if you ain't waiting for the opponent to look inside your file, then you ain't ready to go to court. There's not one thing in this case that I would be afraid to show anybody. Because you know what? It can all be backed up, it can all be substantiated, it's all there. It's not, you know, a confidential informant told me that Paul White told him that he did this, this, and this. That's nothing to do with that, okay? This is, it's a DNA case that led us to a beginning. And you take that beginning and you start following it step by step by step, and things make sense. Things look right, things are right. Things can be found, things can be answered. Which I would take that any day. My problem that I have with it, the whole thing, is why.
why what?
Why did this have to happen?
Man, I have no idea. I don't know what happened there. You saying that he's dead or whatever, okay. I mean, what?
You didn't see that in the news? You didn't see that when Melinda took you up to the police station?
I mean, that's what they say. Okay.
Okay,
They said-
but you keep saying it. I'm saying
Okay,
like you
but what
have
I'm
no
saying
knowledge
is,
of this.
no, I'm not
You
saying
went
that
to
I
the
don't.
police
But what I'm
station.
saying is,
You went to the police station with her. You're talking to major case investigators, correct?
yeah, we talked to some guys.
Yeah. And I'm sure they said they're from the major case squad and they're investigating the homicide that happened on First Capitol.
Right.
Okay, I know from my years of being here, when major case goes someplace, they make an impression. They do. It's all over the news. I mean, it's all over town. Roadblocks were done, posters were put up. I mean, you can't do anything else without us doing skywriting, okay?
Right. So, but at the same time, when you get through with all the major case stuff, I didn't do this. And I don't know how in the world they would say my DNA's in there. Because the only time I've been in this office is when I bought insurance. And
you're saying, okay, and you didn't do anything funky with the man?
come on, man.
I mean, I have to ask,
You had, no,
I have to ask.
no.
okay? You didn't stick your hand in his back pocket? I mean, you didn't, you know, slip him a card with your name on it, call me later? I mean, Paul, I mean, it's not illegal. I mean, if that happened, it happened. You know? I don't know. I just know that you can't give me an explanation why it's there. You're saying it's not there. I'm telling you, a lab report and the scientists say it's there. I'm saying, that how are they gonna know that Paul C. White, who lived in St. Charles, had a policy through the man? They don't have access to that.
Because I really didn't have a policy.
Well, your name was on a
I mean,
policy.
it was on the policy.
Okay. You were driver number 2. And your Monte Carlo was listed on there. I mean, how are they gonna know that also Paul White's, by all intents and purposes, brother-in-law is driving past there twice, you know, at the same time when gunshots are heard downstairs. You know, I mean, it's you put all this stuff together. I mean, like I explained before, there's a time to lie, and there's a time to freaking, you know what?
It ain't no time to lie doing this, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't lied to you, so it's like, it don't even, it's not making sense, you know what I'm saying? Because you saying that my DNA was found in his pocket. There's no way in the world, because I've never even touched that man. You know what I mean? We were in there getting insurance, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen him after that.
Paul White never broke. He denied it to the end and walked back to his cell, still lying. But there was one man he couldn't lie to, because that man was there. The friend he pulled out of bed at gunpoint that night. His name is Cleo Hines. And Cleo told the detectives everything.
Why do you think I want to talk to you right now about it?
This is about robbery.
Let's talk about the robbery.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Dude, I know all about it.
Look, this is the thing. I was working night shift in the regular Benghazi.
Out in her city,
No.
not her city, I'm sorry,
St.
Arrowhead,
Charles.
Arrowhead,
St.
Arrowhead,
Peter's.
Arrowhead.
So I comes in the morning. He's acting all weird and shit, you know. Wants to use my car. I'm like, why? I'm like, dude, I'm going to sleep. I just worked all night. So I go to sleep for a while. Wakes me up again. But at the same time, he got a gun in his hand.
Okay.
He wakes me up out of my sleep with it to my head.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, let's go. Because my girlfriend was in the room with me at the same time.
Melinda?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get up, I'm like, let's go. You gotta go. I'll take you where you need to go.
Okay.
So as we go, first we go to Walmart.
Which Walmart?
Right over, Sunday,
Okay.
he walking around, and he comes back out. He said he saw this guy that was catching his chick. I'm like, man, I'm not doing it, man. I don't want to do that. So then he tells me he's got to go pay his insurance, but I'm like, you ain't got no money, how you gonna pay your insurance? So then I take him to the insurance place to drop him off. I'm outside, but he goes in. About 5 minutes later, he comes back out. Dude, you pay your insurance, he comes back out with like $200 and some dollars. I'm like, how did you get that, man? He wouldn't tell you, it's just like he just robbed somebody. That's the story.
Okay. Now, you gave me a whole lot of information right there. Okay? A whole lot. And one, I want to say, you know what? I appreciate your honesty, because I know what time you worked that night. I've subpoenaed all your records. I came onto this several months ago. But you see the gray hair here?
Yeah.
Okay? That's from taking my time and learning how to do stuff. I'm not like a young policeman. Neither one of us are. You know, we're older. They let us wear ties and stuff to go out and do stuff slow.
Yeah.
We don't. So I want to backpedal a little bit and say, one, I'm very proud of you for what you're saying here. I mean, I know you're not bullshitting me yet.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. When you got off shift that night, okay? You worked midnight shift, you go
Get
home.
off at 8.
When you say you go home, where's home?
At his house.
Okay.
295 Pinedale.
Okay, 295 Pinedale.
Yeah.
When you're at 295 Pinedale,
Mm-hmm.
do you have your own bedroom?
Yes, we did.
Okay. So you and your girl, which is Melinda Gleason, okay. You guys are in your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Paul comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said he had a what with him?
Yeah, gun.
Okay. Was it a big gun, like a shotgun? Okay. Now, you've seen handguns before. What kind of handgun do you think it was?
It looked kind of like a 9mm, a Glock, something like that.
So you with your experience on the street and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, you think it was a 9mm
I
Glock?
think it was.
Have you ever seen him with that gun before?
Yes.
Where have you seen him with that gun before?
In the house.
Okay, in the house. His wife's name Sherry?
Yes.
She ever seen him with that gun before?
Seen the gun before.
Okay. She liked the gun? She bitch about it?
No, she hated the gun because one day he dropped the gun in the house and it went off.
You're kidding me. There's little kids and stuff in the house.
Wait back, man.
Do you need me to wait?
Huh?
Do you need me to wait, or?
No, just make a quick phone call.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So you've seen the gun before, and he dropped the gun and ran. Did it make any damage to the trailer?
I'm thinking he put a little small hole in the wall.
A little small hole in the wall? Was it like an outside wall maybe going through? Or was it like an interior wall running the length?
I'm thinking when he dropped it, it was pointing towards the left where the bed was. That's what I'm thinking. But she came in the room and told me about it.
Who told you
I
about
heard
it?
about it. Sherry did.
Sherry came into the room?
Yeah, I heard about it all.
Okay.
And he dropped it. I don't think I heard somebody. So I told her. She came in the room. You know, he had a gun. She didn't know he had a gun at first until he dropped it.
Okay, so that's the first time anybody knew that Paul had a gun?
Yeah.
How-
Except for me.
Except for you. Were you with him when he got it?
No, I wasn't when he got it.
Where do you think he got it from?
Well, he told me he got it from his sister's boyfriend.
The moment the detective says the word robbery, Quio stops pretending. He'd known the truth for years. And he starts, right from the beginning, with the gun.
When he drove to the insurance,
Yep.
he drove around how many times?
Twice.
Twice, just like the video says. So anyway, so you think he had the gun for a couple of months?
Yes.
And this particular day, after you got off your shift and you went to sleep, do you remember what day of the week it was?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Friday or
Okay.
Saturday. One or two.
Okay. So Friday.
More of a Friday.
Okay, so you think it's more of a Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Friday because I know I had to go back to work that night.
Okay. And you did go back to work that night?
Yes.
Okay. So he wakes you up on a Friday after your work, and this is Friday morning, because you worked Thursday night
Right.
into Friday.
And it was like still morning time when he woke me up.
Okay. So
I
it
hadn't
wasn't
even been asleep at least an hour or two.
the first time?
Yeah.
Okay. So he wakes you up that first hour or two.
No, like.
Oh, you slept an hour or two?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, when I first got off and went home, he was asking to use my car and whatnot. So,
And just so I know, what kind of car was that?
the Focus.
Okay. 2000?
8 or 7. 7 or 8.
Okay. It was a 2007.
Yeah.
And what color?
Still.
Silver. And you and Melinda both bought it together?
Yes. we
Or is that
traded-
just yours?
We traded in her car.
Okay.
She
And you
was-
bounced a check to Valley Ford.
She
Did
didn't
you
have
know
a
that?
license. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, I ain't gonna bust your balls about that. Okay, so, he wakes you up a second time. Now, he doesn't hold a gun to your head the first time.
No, I was just getting off work.
Right.
I'm just now walking through the door.
Okay. Is that when he said he had to go do something, you want to borrow the car?
Yes.
But you go to sleep,
I was asleep
and then he wakes you up,
with the gun
okay,
to my head.
okay. What does he say when he's got the gun? But show it to me, you say I'm you.
I'm on the bed.
Hey, Cleo, can you speak up just a little bit? I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. Would you mind? I appreciate it.
We can sit over here
I'm
too.
laying on the bed.
If I'm laying, I'm you, I'm laying here on the bed.
He hops up, he's on top of me, grab me, put the, you know. Like,
So he can see it.
You know,
He holds the gun how?
he's like, wake up, wake up.
Okay.
You gotta take me somewhere.
Okay.
Shit, I'm getting up. You know, I'm not gonna just
Okay. So, you believe him? Okay. So what do you do?
So he's just like, he got the gun in his hand, he's like, come on, we gotta go.
Okay.
Shit, I'm coming. You know? So he's like, take me up to Walmart. Go to Walmart, like, man, Walmart. He's like, man, you people over here cashing checks and shit. I'm like, shit, whatever.
He tells you he's gonna do a robbery.
I basically already knew that because of the gun. how he was acting. He ain't have no money.
Okay, so let's put something back. When he puts the gun to your head, he says what?
He says, come on, you gotta take me somewhere.
Okay. All right. And you go, okay.
Okay.
And you think that's gonna do a robbery?
Man, it's basically how he is.
Okay. And I'm not arguing with you, I'm just trying to
All right.
educate myself.
I already knew what was going on.
Okay. So do you go to Walmart on your own, or does he tell you to drive to Walmart?
We both go to Walmart.
Okay.
He walks in.
Okay. And you're out in the parking lot?
I'm in the parking lot
Okay.
at this time.
Where do you park at?
It was far away from the door, I guess.
I'm sorry, you said where?
I can't hear you, but I'm sorry.
Not, it was kind of far away from the door, from the door at Walmart.
Okay. So is it closer to like the Applebee's, or?
Yep, a little closer to the Applebee's.
Okay. And he gets out and walks?
No, because the Applebee's is like down this way.
Right.
You got Shelley's and whatnot up there, and the other little place up there, I forget the name. But it was closer to the other place, in the same parking lot as the,
Okay. What are the other restaurants up there? Oh, in the mall, like the strip mall?
yes.
Okay. Can you see him walk in? Okay. And how long is he inside Walmart?
Maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay. And then he comes out? What does he say?
He said he saw this guy, but he didn't know he hopped in the truck.
So he was gonna follow him out the store to the vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we leave there. I'm like, okay, where you wanna go now? Like, I gotta go pay my insurance. I'm like,
You say he had to pay his insurance?
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, dude, you ain't got no money. I mean, you just came up here to do something crazy because you ain't got no money. How you gonna do that? So he's like, man, don't even worry about it. He likes it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take him up here. He waving his gun around. And I'm like, I'm gonna take him up here. Do what we gotta do. All I was thinking about at that time, I didn't wanna get shot. I got my girls at home. I got other kids too.
Right.
So he goes around down First Capital.
Okay. Now, they had a lot of construction stuff going on at that time, right?
Yes, yes. So he pulls in one way. How it goes around the front.
Right. You pull in the front,
Yeah.
past the Mexican grocery store.
Past the grocery store.
Now, does he get out before, you know where the insurance guy is there on the corner?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he get out the first time?
No.
So you guys drive past?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, this way we can go. Yeah, just go back around.
Okay.
I went back around the second time.
Okay.
And we parked.
I hate to interrupt you, brother. That little hole in the closet,
Mm-hmm.
kind of explain that a little bit better to me if you can.
It's like a square thing just by a water heater in the closet.
So it's not,
So behind the square?
Yes.
is it like a reset, like a maintenance type thing?
Yeah, yeah.
And the closet you're talking about, is that in the bathroom?
No, it's in
or-
Sherry's room.
Sherry, the master bedroom?
Yeah.
Is it like a vent or something?
It's, I think what it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, like a mobile homes, they have like an access point to get to pipes
Yeah.
and wires
Oh,
and that
okay.
kind of stuff?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, man.
I think. So, all right. So, you go off First Capital, that's actually Bell Ray Street right there, and then you get onto the,
Yeah, I think so.
right, and then you get into like the little driveway for the,
Yeah.
strip mall.
Right, right.
Okay, so you guys drive past it the first time.
Yeah.
He's in the car with you.
He's in the car.
He goes around to the back. Circle, yeah, circle around.
He's
Okay.
still in the car.
Now, let me answer your question. And I'm not in the car, but I've been a cop for 17 years, and I've worked a lot of robberies and stuff.
Mhm.
Is he looking inside to see if people are inside, or is he just showing you where the
He
place
was
is at?
looking, no, he was looking, cause the dude, cause I guess they had their blinds closed.
Okay,
So he was wondering if they were open or not, I
Okay.
guess. So we pulled it back around, he gets out.
when,
goes in.
where do you park at?
The second time, right by the insurance.
Okay, so right in front of the insurance
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay, which is right out there on the end.
Yeah.
Do you pull it straight in?
We pull, no, I was like, you know how to help you.
Yeah.
The front end of my car.
Right,
facing
it's kind of
the
an
street.
angle.
Yeah, it's facing the street.
Oh, when you say street, First Capital where the
Yeah.
construction is?
It's good.
Okay. So, he gets out,
Mm-hmm.
okay? What happens now?
Now he goes in for like 5 minutes,
Okay.
comes back out.
Does he run out? Does he walk out?
He walked out like calmly.
Okay.
And he had a wallet.
Okay.
in his hand.
The wallet in his hand?
So I'm like,
How much money do you think he had?
It wasn't even enough money to rob anybody for. Like $200 maybe.
Okay. Well, it was cash.
It was cash.
Okay. Was it 20s, 100s, 50s, you remember?
I think it's 20s, maybe a 50.
Okay. Pretty, I mean, that's a lot of money to me. I mean, I'm a cop, I don't make
Yeah, but
$1 million.
you can work for that.
Right.
You know,
Right. So, but I mean, did it look like a big wad of cash, or was there some? Okay, so, just a,
Yeah, just a few 20s.
okay. So, he comes walking out, what's he do with the wallet?
This is what he did. Like, when we got home, he took it, he burned it on the barbecue grill.
Okay. What about the credit cards and stuff inside?
He left all of that inside and he burned it all.
Okay. He didn't save anything, driver's license, none of that stuff?
No.
Okay. Is it a gas barbecue grill, or is it a,
It's a regular
Charcoal?
Charcoal.
okay. So he burnt all that. How much money did he give you?
Nothing.
He didn't give you nothing.
Not a dime.
So, do you
This-
get
This is what he did. After that, he went to the casino.
Okay. St. Charles Casino? Which one? The Alton Bell? So he went to
We
Illinois?
both went to casino.
Okay, so directly from
Directly
the insurance man?
He went to the casino because that's what he did a lot. He was a big gambler, I guess. But not like that. He went to the casino.
Okay.
He lost the money. That was that.
Okay, so he,
Basically did it for nothing.
all right. What time do you think you got to the insurance man? What time about?
Maybe 2:30ish or something like that.
So before lunch?
Before lunch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say 10:30, that's an average. It could be a little bit later?
I don't think 10:30, 11 o'clock. Either or.
Okay. Dude, let me tell you what, I know that was over 3 years ago. I'm not gonna ask you, if you tell me something and the answer's like 10:28,
Mhm.
and you tell me 10:30, I'm not gonna jump up and down, okay? It's 3 years ago. I mean, I know that day because I know what I was doing when I got the call, okay? And I think you're pretty close. So you leave directly from the insurance man's office,
Yep.
and then you go to the Alton Bell.
Yes.
Both of you go in?
Yes.
You gamble too?
Gamble a little bit.
Okay, what's his game?
Blackjack.
Does he win?
No. I mean, it's
Oh.
probably half and half.
How often do you go with him?
I used to go with him all the time. All the time.
So he'd go a lot, he'd lose a lot. I mean, those casinos aren't built by winners.
Right. All the time.
And then, what happened after you guys left the, how long do you think you were at the Alton Bell?
Maybe, I don't know.
So he lost that money that he stole from that man, the insurance man, in an hour, playing blackjack? So he drank a little bit? He's not a drinker?
I'm a drinker, but.
How about him?
No, he's not a drinker at all.
Smoke a little weed?
No, he don't do drugs.
Don't do no drugs?
I don't do drugs either.
So he went in there he went in there and completely straight and sober?
Straight and sober.
Didn't snort no
The only
heroin?
thing he would, no, I ain't never seen him do nothing like that. The only thing he would drink is like maybe a non-alcoholic strawberry daiquiri or whatnot.
How much would he win when you guys went and played blackjack?
That day?
No, any
Just
day.
an average.
Just on the
A
average.
good day, if you win, what's a good day?
On a good day, maybe 500. A little more.
500, he'd be happy.
Yeah.
500, I'd be happy.
You ever seen him walk out with $1,000, $1,500?
Yeah.
Have you?
Went once.
Once?
Just once.
Which casino was that at?
Casino Queen. That was like when I first met.
So you guys are only at the Alton Bell for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do when you leave there?
We go up to Sherry's job. She was working at a gas station somewhere deep in St. Charles, I guess.
Okay.
I can't remember the street.
But Sherry could tell us where she worked deep in St.
Yeah,
Charles.
because she works at a gas station that's the same owner or the same type of gas station that she worked for.
Taylor Oil. Okay. So you see Sherry.
Yeah, she's Sherry. She gave us a car wash.
Give you a car wash.
Yeah. After that, we leave. And that was basically the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you leave, how long do you up at the gas station?
It was like that. Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. So what time do you,
Excuse me.
it's all right. What time do you think you get to Sherry's work?
Mm, 12:30.
So between 12:30 and 1 you get there.
Yeah.
So you're there for 30 minutes, so that'd be between 1 and 1:30?
So,
And then you go from there to where?
back home.
Back home. Is that when he barbecues the wallet?
No, he barbecued the water.
That's why he couldn't leave him alive. He didn't just walk in to rob an insurance office. He walked in to rob a man who knew his face, his name, and where he lived. The moment Paul White pulled out that gun, Robert Eidman recognized him.
So you said he was real calm when he came out?
Very calm. Very calm. Like, he didn't even, it was like he didn't even shoot anybody or nothing, you know? He
Well,
was just
you know
calm.
what, now that you mentioned being this calm, and like I said, I'm not coming down on you, but it sounds like you're kind of calm about this too. I think it bothers you now. I think, I mean, how many times those,
I've always thought about it.
I mean, it would keep me awake at night. How many times have you drove him around like this?
Just
How many times, man?
maybe twice.
Okay. Where was the other time you drove him around to do the robberies?
It was more like maybe around like the trailer park.
Okay. Did you ever rob anybody in the trailer park?
No, because he never could like get into like he was trying to go into people's houses.
Okay.
He never could get in.
Did he try? So he tried to get in houses.
Try to get in.
Do you know which ones he tried getting into?
Maybe a couple of them on the next street behind him. And a couple down the street from him.
Did you ever see him with any really nice watches that he pawned?
Oh yeah.
Where'd he get those from?
Yeah, I'm thinking he robbed somebody from him. Or he did a robbery, he broke into somebody's house. He used to do that a lot. You know, I come home, he just have like jewelry and things that he took from people, like laptops and stuff like that. Or he'd go into the store and he'd buy a computer. Leave the computer. He'd take the other computer in the car. He'll take the computer from the car, go back in the store, keep the receipt, walk out the store with another computer.
Right. And then take it back.
And then take it back.
What store did he do that at?
Stuff like that. He did that at Walmart. He did it at a lot of different places.
So do you think,
He didn't get away with it.
do you think that first time in prison made him a better citizen?
Who, Paul?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What's his street name? What is
He
nickname?
just go by Paul.
You don't go by nothing else? Any further?
Did he ever tell you that he shot the guy?
I had to see it on the news for him to tell me anyway.
But I mean, after the fact, after you guys started talking about it, did he tell you what he did?
Yeah.
Why did he have to shoot him? He tell you that?
He told me this guy knew his face, that he had been in there before with Sherry. They were trying to get insurance and things like that.
So,
So that's the only reason why he shot him, because he knew him, I guess.
so the guy's name, do you know the victim's name?
No, I didn't get his name.
Okay, it's Bob. Okay, so he tried to get insurance from Bob before.
Yeah.
And he felt like, you know, since he took his money, he'd recognize him, probably call the police.
Right. Right. And he told me he shot him like maybe 4 times. I'm like,
Did he tell you how or where or anything like that? Where on his person?
he said he wasn't even standing close to the guy. He was more like close to the door when he started shooting. But I'm out in the car. I didn't hear any gunshots, so I didn't know he shot him till he saw it on the news. And then he came forward to say it.
Let me ask you, did he ever explain to you, from the time he went in, did he ever explain to you, like, kind of like, point by point what happened?
Yeah, he said he walked in, and the guy, he was like standing there going through his files or whatnot. So Paul says, he said he sits down like he's gonna buy some insurance from him. All of a sudden he just raises up and told him to give him his money. And the guy, I guess he held his hands up, and I guess he told him he didn't have any money in the store or whatnot. So I guess he was lying. I guess he thought he was lying or whatnot, so he shot him. He said he shot him once and missed. He shot him once and missed. And then he shot again. I guess he said he hit him like in his neck area or whatnot. And I guess the guy fell to the ground, he said. So he stood over, shot him.
To finish him off?
Yeah, in his head. That's crazy.
You said where at in the head?
I guess in like the front of his head or whatnot, I guess. He just said he shot him in the head.
Did he mention, I mean, you said that he sat down and talking about insurance, I mean, did,
He said he was acting like he was gonna sit there and talk to him about insurance.
So he probably told him his name,
Right.
or he probably recognized
He
him?
probably recognized him.
Did he tell you that he told him his name or he recognized him?
He said that he knew this guy already. The guy already knew his name and things like that because him and Sherry went up there.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
In the end, Paul White never said the words. He sat in that room for hours and swore he never touched Robert Eidman, a man who did nothing but sell him a policy and shake his hand. He killed him for the cash in the register. $1,200 he'd already lost at a casino. That's what Bob Eidman's life was worth to him. For 3 years, he thought he'd gotten away with it. No witnesses, no weapon, nothing, except a single trace of his own DNA left behind in the dead man's pocket. That's all it took. Paul White was convicted of first-degree murder and armed criminal action. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Twice over. He will never come home. He never admitted what he did. He didn't have to. The evidence said it for him. And so did the friend he dragged out of bed at gunpoint, who sat in that same building and told the detectives everything. Paul White lied to the very end. It just didn't matter anymore.